Okay, a couple of days have passed. I'm sorry for the late upload schedule. I know I said I'd do it daily, and I'm how many days am I behind? I think I'm like 3 days behind. As you know, I had a big day since the last upload, and wow, let me tell you, some things have happened. So court went very well, and the whole 2 days, should I say, was just chaos. And my solicitor or barrister came out and basically said that we smashed it, and said that he wasn't expecting that the judge disliked me without reason. But she completely 180'd. I don't know if, like, in court cases, they kind of play a role to kind of agitate you and find out what you are or who you are by poking you. I have a feeling that's what they do, because she was acting very aggressive and angry towards me without any basis, like zero. So I was like, what the hell? And I gotta admit, sometimes I bit back, and I probably shouldn't have done that because it's a judge. I was seeing her do what she was doing. I was like, hey, you're a judge. You can't be doing this. So I'd bite back. And in retrospect, probably not the best move. And she said, what I'm fighting for is what she wants as well. And I was just stood there like, oh my God, what is going on? It was a complete 180. I knew that she should have done that, but then the judge, like, kind of came out of formalities and give me her personal judgment. Because you feel like you're going crazy in court. You feel like, you're like, doesn't everyone see this? Doesn't everyone know what's going on? And at the end, thankfully, she basically said to me, yes, I know what's going on. I was amazed, absolutely amazed. So the story I want to tell, it was a 2-day hearing, right? The first day I went in, and I've got to admit, I couldn't hold back my frustration or my anger. I went back in with my barrister. My barrister was giving me advice, and I got heated with the barrister and said, like, I basically said, I didn't say fuck off to the barrister, but I was like, no, told him he was shit, which I shouldn't have done, but I was annoyed with the barrister. At that point, I was like, everyone knows what's going on, and yet we're playing this game of, almost this game of house. So I was annoyed with my barrister because he knew what was going on. I was annoyed with the judge, and obviously I was annoyed with the other person. After the first day, it went really bad. And the judge basically gave me a prejudgment, and it was the complete opposite of what I wanted. I'd lost. And then she told me, do you accept this, or do you want to go home and have a day to think about it? And she went, right, we're going to go our separate ways. We'll come back the next day when we've slept on it. And then the next day, I got to a nice swanky hotel. It was beautiful, actually. And I'm there with my partner, who was amazing, by the way. She really supported me for that weekend. Shortly before everything, I started turning to a higher power. And I was so lost. You've seen in my other videos, I've said I'd isolated myself, and I'd basically just focused so hard on court that I didn't see my friends anymore. I didn't do anything. I was just all about this. So I was a stressed mess. My partner invited me to the church. They all came together and they prayed for me. They stood around me and they prayed for me. And as she was praying for me, she burst into tears. And I don't know, I really felt that. It was beautiful. And then the men kind of came to me and said, look, we do hiking every other week. And it's like a men's thing where we all go out and just enjoy life. And they called me their family. And I don't know, it just felt, I needed that at the time. I really did. I was struggling on my own. I felt like I had a community. I was given a family, so to speak. And this is, at that moment, I bought this cross. And I said, look, it's not going to hurt anyone. I'm kind of like, my life has been all about this. I may as well pray and see what happens. And hopefully the higher powers can help me. My barrister had spoken to my partner and said that I need to calm down. I need to calm down. I need to relax. The judge is seeing what I'm doing, and she's making an opinion of me, and it is going to completely change the judgment. Because I was like, and it wasn't even performative. If you heard the stuff in there and you knew the truth, believe me, you'd be doing the same thing. So my partner pulled me to the side and said, you need to calm down. Your barrister has told me to speak to you and tell you to calm down. And then she pulled me and she held me tightly and said, we're going to pray before you go in, because this was the moment I was going to go in for the final judgment. And she prayed for my calmness and for me to not get heated. At that point, I was kind of like, religion wasn't a thing for me. So I was just, when she was praying, I was kind of looking away like, just get over with, let me get in the courtroom. As soon as I walked in that courtroom, something happened. Calmness came over me. And there was nothing going through my head like, just give it a shot. It just happened. And I spoke to the judge and we got everything done, and I did it calmly, and it turned everything around. So at that point, I was like, that's kind of cool. I didn't really acknowledge the calmness. It did happen, but I just thought that it was kind of my body kicking into like overdrive. I was like, right, you need to focus. I was thinking it was that. On the way home from the court, it's quite a long drive on the motorway, and I'm going down the M60. It's a very big ring road coming through Manchester. And as I'm going there, I'm going 80 miles per hour. My partner's sat beside me and she's asleep. The car to my right-hand side, I just turn to the side and I see it looking at me. The nose, this is on the motorway, has turned and he's skidded and he's starting to 360 like that. And he's coming at me like a hurricane. And I kid you not, my partner was sat next to me. I kid you not. I didn't even think like, stay calm, stay calm. I just looked at it and I just turned the car slightly, moved it slightly, moved out the way, and we must have been an inch. And I'm talking, if that car hit this car, it would have flipped. It would have flipped the car. I just moved it and it was at the perfect amount. I can't describe. If that was on camera, it would have looked unreal. Moved it, turned it out of the way, and then carried on going forward. He was still spinning when we went past, and he managed to gain control, and he came off the motorway. And I could see all the cars around me. They saw him drive off and he was fine, but they were like trying to get near me, looking at me, seeing if I was in shock or... Because what happened was like, it was a near-death experience. It was insane. And I was calm. And now I believe that it was a message for me to say, these words that I'm telling you, you can't get the full picture of it. It's hard for you to see it because you've not lived the past 2 years, so you won't get the full picture. But believe me, what happened that past 2 days, it was like a book. It was like a story. It's changed my life. Generally, it's made me realize that I need to focus on just being calm, being collected. Don't get worked up with people. Think about other people. Trust. Have hope. Look after yourself. I can't tell you, all these lessons just flew at me. And before that, I was having nightmares every night. They've gone. As soon as I got this thing, gone. So yeah, I'm back. And I'm going to come back to court in 12 months. And we're going to catch up on what's going on. Me and my partner and my mother, and we've all spoke about this stuff and said, like, even if you get this outcome, it's not going to fix anything. And this new outcome, it fixes the problems we saw, like, further down the line. It's even better. And I never pictured this. So I'm going to be going to church again with my partner at some point. I don't know if I'm Christian or Catholic, or I think I've got my own personal relationship with God. No, I don't think I have. I've got my own personal relationship with God. And this, for me, is symbolic. Maybe the further I go down it, maybe I'll turn Christian. Maybe I'll turn Catholic. I've always loved churches all my life. Anytime I go anywhere, I'm looking for a church. If I'm going somewhere, because I want to see history and the architecture, and I've always been drawn to that. But something incredible happened that weekend. Something incredible. And when people say God was there for me and he looked out for me, I get it. I totally get it. And you know what? I'm Ricky Gervais fan, Sam Harris fan. I was atheist man all the way. Richard Dawkins. I get it. I totally get it because I was there. I'd fucking watched all that stuff and I believed in it. And if I was the old me who was watching this video, I was like, mate, there's a logical explanation for that. It's not something that can be put into words. And I know as humans, we're designed to look for patterns for survivability in it. That's our very nature. I understand that, but no, this was like, you know, like it's like having one thing and then it gets turned into another right before your eyes, without explanation, without logic, without progress, without build up, just change. And it happened. So my vision for the future, I'm going to stop moaning. I'm going to stop complaining. I'm going to look after people. I'm going to try and stop arguing, fighting. I'm going to try and be positive. I'm going to try and see the world. I'm going to start traveling again. You guys are going to see vlogs of me, probably in Spain. At some point, we'll be in the Philippines. I'm going to be everywhere. I'm also going to put you'll see the clips already that are in the video. We've been to quite a few different places already, but I'm talking, I'm going to start living again. I have not been living. Before this, I used to travel a lot. I used to live a lot. I used to be a social butterfly, and I've totally stopped. I'm coming back and I'm going to start living again. Also, I'm going to start streaming again. I'm probably going to stream tonight, and I don't think you guys will see this video until the night after. But I'll leave a link below my video, and if you want to check out my stream, come join it. It's not going to be anything like my videos. It's just going to be me nerding out. I play a lot of like role-playing games, old school role-playing games. And I'm tempting to play the game I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. It's a game from the 90s, sorry. Late 90s, early 90s, actually, sorry. Me and my son read the book recently. He's watching a cartoon show, which is really good, actually. It's inspired by that book, and he wanted to read it. And I'd never read it, but I've known that it's seen as a masterpiece. We read the book in one night, and I didn't know it was that bad. But it's a brilliant book, but my God, it's very, very graphic. My son's he's 12, so he's not a baby anymore. He can handle that stuff. So we read that, and now apparently the game is written by the author as well of the book, and he's expanded on the characters a bit, so I might stream that. But yeah, guys, check out, I don't know what to say. I don't think you can get into God by just going, oh, I'm going to be inquisitive and read stuff. I've looked at it, and the more I've found out that Jesus existed and all of this existed, and the Dead Sea Scrolls, where it's like, fucking hell, that's unreal. The more you learn about this stuff, the more you realize, okay, there's something going on. But I think you need a personal experience to get some sort of connection. You can get like a belief after reading a couple of things, but I think for the true experience, you need to go through something. Anyway, I've got it. My battery is about to run out, so I will catch you guys in a bit. Thank you for tuning in. And if you want to say anything to me in the comments, I can't give you any information about the court or anything, but if you want some advice, if you're having a hard time, have a word with me. I'll be happy to have a chat and even just be a listening ear for you. But anyway, catch you later, guys.